Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Wheezy's FPS War College. I'm your host Wheezy, and in this episode we will be discussing a more advanced concept than in the first 2 episodes, situational awareness. And this is a very important skill, but it's also, I'll call it a derived skill, where you need the fundamentals of map movement and using cover before situational awareness is extremely effective in there. 3 main stages we'll cover: plan, execution, and evaluation. Let's break down what goes into a planning stage. You think about what is your goal, what is the enemy's goal, and where are you vulnerable when attempting to achieve your goal. We'll go over these quickly because as we go over the clips, we'll get more detail. Executing the plan. Where is the enemy? Where are you going? And where will the enemy be? So this is a more reactive version of the plan, where you're constantly keeping track of what's going on as you execute. Evaluation is what has changed and how is your plan affected. So as you're executing your plan, either your plan is complete and you'll have to figure out what to do next, or something will change in your plan and you will have to adapt on the move. So these are kind of cyclical, and we'll see one exception at the end where it doesn't necessarily go plan, execute, evaluate. But we'll start off with a game of Black Ops here, doing Team Deathmatch. I wanted to start with Team Deathmatch because there is a plan involved even when all you're doing is slaying, or kill whoring as some might call it, and it's still very tactical. So let's break it down here and start with our plan. What is our goal? To kill the enemy. What is the enemy's goal? To kill you. Where are you vulnerable? Now this is the key for Team Deathmatch, is where will you be vulnerable from enemy fire. So let's start breaking down here what's going on. That blue line I just put up on the minimap is the edge of where you see our team is. So you can see on the radar from behind that line, our entire team is encompassed by that. I'm on the edge of the map, so that yellow area means that my threats will always come from that direction. And beyond the blue line is where I expect the enemy to be. So that's where I'm going because it's Team Deathmatch. And so when I get ahead of my team spawn, I can consider myself in the enemy spawn, and it's time to be a little more careful about what you're doing because there can be enemies all around you. So there I see someone show up on the radar, and I start moving in, but staying to the edge of the map, like we talked about in map movement, keeps you from getting flanked. So I move back towards the edge of the map, run into a guy there. So this will be a really quick plan execution cycle. Where's the enemy? I see my teammates dying and spawning back around me. So where am I going? Time for a new plan. What has changed? Well, essentially what we're going to see is that the spawn is flipped, but here's this new blue line. All my team is now behind this, so we're on the other side of the map. This is the best indication of an upcoming or already happened spawn switch. So now the enemy is at the other direction, and the new plan is going to be to move back towards their spawn again, which is where I just came from, and continue slaying. So I begin going up here, keeping an eye on the areas I'm vulnerable from. There's a dead guy there, and you'll notice I decided not to move out into the open there because it would be too exposed and dangerous, so I start moving towards the edge. And then the friendly UAV here gives me a little insight onto where the enemy is. So it's time to start moving in and picking them off in their spawn. So really, situational awareness is using all the information available to you to determine where the enemy is and where you should be to engage them or to achieve your objective, which we'll see some objective clips after this. But in Team Deathmatch, your objective is to kill the enemy, so getting to the enemy is your objective. So going back to map movement being unexpected, I killed a couple people down on street level. Time to get some high ground and make sure they don't know where we are, so I killed that one guy in the street who was looking back at where I was. So now, you know, I got my napalm in there. we've pretty much cleared them out of that area they just were. So let's do another evaluation here. All right, we got to their team, we took them out. This yellow box is where they just were, and they are no longer because we just killed them. So blue is obviously where all my team is, right in the middle of the map. So that leads me to see that the enemy will most likely spawn again with a spawn flip on the other side of the map. Now, since I'm on the left side of the map, that's the direction I'll head, since going all the way around to the right side isn't as good, and I'll hope that my teammates will push out to fill out that right side and keep my right side protected as I push into their spawn. But we will continue to monitor that situation as we move along. So back we go through the spawn flip, back up the edge of the map, again trying to keep from getting flanked, and that guy didn't watch this video, and he was standing in the middle of the map, so he's dead. And this guy here had the same problem. Not to say you should never move through the middle of the map, but go back and watch my map movement video. I'm not going to get back into that. So a quick reevaluation. I don't normally pull up the map like that in the game, but for the purpose of getting these clips, I was using them for a breakdown. So again, we can see that the spawn's flipped yet again, so it's time to move back up into the enemy spawn. Call of Duty, part of the reason it's such a frantic game, especially in Team Deathmatch, is because of these rapid spawn flips. And now we kind of get easy mode here. When it comes to situational awareness in Call of Duty Black Ops, the Blackbird is complete situational awareness, whereas the basic fundamental goal of situational awareness is to determine where the enemy is so that you can plan accordingly and increase your chances of success. The Blackbird tells you exactly where the enemy is at all times. So it removes the bulk of the effort required for situational awareness. But you still have to keep yourself from doing something stupid because you're overconfident with the situational awareness you have from the Blackbird. So again, this clip's about to draw to a close, but you see the point in Team Deathmatch. Team Deathmatch is also an objective-based game. It's just the objective is essentially the enemies and the enemy spawn. So playing smart, having a plan will help you out. Let's get to some Battlefield 3 beta here. I had full game now. I should have pulled a clip out of that, but I had this beta one stepped aside. So here, let's come up with a plan for rushing up what we call the meat grinder. I'm at the back elevator, or escalator, run towards the meat grinder, and that red line is where their enemy team is going to spawn behind. But on the meat grinder, you can see that the left and right side by the objectives, and as well as behind the escalator I'm running up. So I'm essentially running into a area where I could be completely surrounded. But I know I'm rushing towards the A objective on the left side, and there is a pillar just up top, above these escalators. So if I can get up the escalator around that pillar, I can use it as cover to keep me from being shot from the right objective as I push towards the A-bomb, hopefully get it planted and get behind a desk so I have some cover. This is a risky maneuver, obviously, but plans aren't always about staying alive, they're about achieving the objective. So here I'm taking a risk, using as much cover as I can, find a guy not expecting me to come from that way, and get the bomb plant, and now I'm in a really good position, because the point for picking this A-bomb side is that it's got this awesome desk as cover, so you can defend the bomb plant. So now my plan has switched from attacking the objective to defending the objective, and as much as everyone likes to hate it, defending an objective essentially means putting yourself in a position to stop other people from coming to it. The bad way to do that is to sit in a corner and wait for someone to come in the room. The good way to do it is get inside looking out to where the enemy's coming from and stopping them early. Better to be proactive than reactive. So the bomb just went off, so I've switched to evaluation mode, and I leave evaluate up here a while because right now I'm not evaluating, I'm trying to survive because I'm being shot at. So it's time to come up with a new plan, and that plan involves supporting the attack on the B objective. And right now I'm at 33% health, and I just ran out of ammo for my primary weapon. So priority 1 is getting some health down so that I can heal up. And then priority 2 is going to be getting a new weapon before I push over to the B objective, because my pistol is not going to be all that effective at supporting an objective push to B. So here I'm getting some shots on the enemy, trying to distract them. I know essentially my plan doesn't involve me planting B. I'm going to try and support my teammates planting B. And I get lucky here, a guy's still rushing me, probably coming back for a revenge kill. So now I know, hey, there's a gun laying on the ground over there. Still try to keep cover here, make sure I'm not around any other enemies. And boom. Okay, now I've got a primary weapon. Now it's time to continue with executing my plan of supporting the B objective. So here I see my teammates have finally pushed up to where they've got a line approximately at these turnstiles. So I'm going to take a risky maneuver here and push into this room. Now it's time for a new plan, because we got to evaluate the fact that I'm essentially inside the enemy spawn now. And there you see that red box on the minimap. To my left, their entire team is going to start appearing there. Hopefully, along that arrow, they will be pushing towards the B objective. That is where the majority of them will be. So my objective is going to be look through this window and this doorway and try and distract and kill as many of them as I can to buy time for the people planting at B so that they can get the objective off. I have a risk behind me for that door that I came in where they may have someone who's not going directly to the objective and comes around behind, so I'll have to be aware of that. But it's less of a concern because my plan here isn't to survive, it's to buy enough time for the objective to go off. So I fully expect to die in this encounter. But that's part of the plan, is we're talking about winning, not about staying alive and getting kill horse. So here I'm taking out the guys as close as I can to the bomb, and you see the my friendlies get it planted. So now my job is to keep them distracted or dead in their spawn, so that they can't get to that objective and disarm it. So I'm using all the cover I have available in here. I'm taking damage there. Instead of taking cover, I'm just worried about keeping them busy. So I actually want them shooting at me, so they're not going to the objective. I'm not trying to stay hidden, get as many kills as I can. I want them to focus on me so the bomb can go off. So there I got killed, which I fully expected. And now whenever you die, it's always time to evaluate the situation and replan. So right now I'm thinking, okay, I got to support this bomb plant. But then I see that, hey, the bomb went off, so I achieved my objective. And that will essentially be evaluation success, and I'll move on to plan the next objective point. The final clip we're going to use here is Medal of Honor, and this is going to be an example of how to make a plan when your plans just go to shit. I'm on a crap team here. I joined this game behind, and I'm going to see how effective I can be. So my plan is to get the A objective here, because sticking to the edge of the map, it'll be the easiest one to get. So I'm trying to move in and clear out so I can capture A, hopefully get a foothold in this game for my team to spawn around, and start moving back to more objectives. As we'll see, a plan doesn't always work out, but that's when you make new plans and you make the best of this bad situation. And the way it turns out in this game, actually, despite our team getting stomped on, because I had a clear picture of what I was trying to accomplish with the objective, I ended up getting the highest score in the game despite a horrific loss. So there I was getting ready to plan on to move to another objective, but I just switched straight back to execute mode because they were immediately recapturing Alpha. So that's an example of how sometimes the planning cycle can get thrown off if you have to react to a situation. So there I have to go and recapture A again, and now I'm sitting here to reevaluate, okay, my plan now is to protect A because I know my teammates aren't going to, and see if I can get a lull in the battle. Like here, I'm looking around, I don't see anyone pushing A immediately, so it's time for me to move up. Plan, attack objective B or the next available objective that I can safely get. So here I'm moving along the edge of the map, trying to get to the next objective without running through the open and get myself murdered. And I kill him, check my minimap, and see that we've lost Alpha again. So time to replan. Plan's changing again. Time to get Alpha back, because Alpha will be easier to reclaim than it will be to go in and capture B straight up. So back we go to Alpha, get that foothold back, and clear out everyone here. I see that I got my artillery strike. I try to keep kill streaks out of this, but you'll see where it'll come important there. So I got that kill, but they are just destroying our team. So it's time to, you die, you got to make a new plan. This one's kind of reactive, where I still want to get A back, and suddenly when I spawn, I see they're already over there looking at me. So they've killed me in my spawn. That's a spawn trap. So now the new plan is to break the spawn trap. Okay, A is my secondary objective, and primary objective is to survive being in my spawn. There's one guy left. The game's almost over, so I decided to splash my artillery strike on him because there's not going to be a better use this late in the game. We're going to lose. It's time for me to salvage what I can out of this situation. My artillery strike takes that guy out. I use cover to make sure that I don't run into another guy killing my spawn. There he is. Call in some intel. And the plan is still to get A, because now we're not going to win. But it may be a chance for me to get some points. And still, pushing the objective is the goal. So who knows? Maybe we'll suddenly triple cap them. It'll be a miracle. But my responsibility right now is going to be to recapture A yet again. So moving in, making sure on the radar, you see where they are. Get a couple more kills. And right here, I'm about to get the capture back. And sometimes plans don't always work out. But if you always have a plan, even if your team is falling apart around you, you can still find some success and hopefully get at least some satisfaction and enjoyment out of a game that you did the best you could despite everything else around you. So that's the idea behind situational awareness. And to go back over the overview of the key tenets of situational awareness: planning, execution, and evaluation. And as you saw, we broke it down early on in this video and then got it closer and closer to real time. It sounds like a lot to make a plan, execute it, reevaluate the thing as you go. But the idea behind this is you understand intuitively the steps and you do it on the run. So as you're going through the map, you're looking at the situation you're currently in. What am I trying to achieve? How am I going to achieve it? And who's trying to stop me? Where are they most likely going to be so that I can make sure that they don't stop me? That's the bottom line. And as long as you have a solid plan, you can at least have success, hopefully, with your entire team and winning the game. But if not, you can at least do the best you can. So that's episode 3, Situational Awareness. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you in episode 4.